All right, Dad. And John, this is a little explanation, of John, or how I saw your idea. Like I saw it right away, so or at least saw like the potential in it. So maybe this gives you a couple ideas to run with. And I think this could be like, this is an easy partnership with Matthew Kelly. If you guys aren't feeling up to it, I will walk into his office as soon as we have this like unformulated in more of a professional way. But the idea was that I started making these rosaries, and it started when Mom was really sick. And I made those rosaries at Easter, the day before, like on Easter Sunday, I made them for Michael and Bridget. So it was the day before Mom passed away. And I just had this idea of like, if you put more thought into each prayer, how much more would that allow you like really give from your heart, surrender from your heart? And so I added a couple things that I'll run you through, guys, and then John, a couple things that I think maybe you should add. And so here's how I thought, John. I just wrote it down, so this might help you as well, and I can help you more if you want. So as far as the cross goes, this is just like something where the idea is that, and John, I think you told me you were like at a coffee shop, you didn't have a rosary bead, so you started just ripping out paper and then kind of was like saying a Hail Mary as you turned it up, and then by the time you were done, you had like this really sweet, like a rosary just of, but you were thinking it'd be better if each crumble that you put up was maybe like, it had something written on it. So it's like a thought or it's an intention or something. So you pray the rosary a little bit slower, but it helps you to really give your whole heart, and it really helps you get emotional. And the other side, John, but I think it might be a good thing to add is like if you could maybe put music on it. Not like crazy music, but like just music that when you're listening to it, it has that emotion. So I just thought that'd be a good way to like, maybe that's a different way of praying. Like music brings people together. Like, I know we always want to pray in silence, but if we made it a more personal experience with us, through God, through our real heart, that would be great. So let me just run through this real quick. So I think, John, I was thinking like if we could add 3 small beads, like not as a prayer, but just as like a reflection of Jesus' passion and, what he went through. And then the cross would be like, because Jesus is the light. And the cross, unfortunately, represents suffering. But here you want to pray that you can see the suffering, although it may not be painless, will be the quickest way to your ultimate goal, which would be heaven, right? So that's the start. And then you have the first 2 Our Fathers, and these 2 are going to be different than the other ones. I think maybe like ask Jesus to help you pray this rosary with your whole heart. So like the Blessed Mother says, you say the Our Father to ask Jesus to help you pray with your heart. So that let go of all your worries and just give it to Him. Just surrender during these 2 Our Fathers. The 3 Hail Marys, we're going to look at faith, hope, and charity, kind of like the things that I had ideas on. So these 2 ideas work really well with each other. With my idea as far as doing the faith, hope, and love actions of the other thing. Then the medallion is going to be your favorite saint. So say, Dad, it's Padre Pio. You're going to reflect on his life. How could you be more like him? And decade 1 would be like, this is where you're going to focus on worries. So each one of these will be like a piece of paper, I was thinking, John. Like, so you have one piece and you cut it up. And, obviously we streamline it. You cut it up into pieces. And you read it and you say, that I continue to have good paying clients come to my office, Dad, for example. And as you're tearing up, you say, Hail Mary, full of grace, and you think about with your heart. And as you move through the decades, all of a sudden you're going to be starting to feel your heart open up even more. So you have the Our Fathers, and each of the Our Fathers, John, I was thinking it'd be a good idea if you could do, pray for an intention that's close to your heart. So whether it's a family member or something that really is like pulling at your heartstrings. So decade 2, you could do worries with family, friends, and coworkers. So it's all based around letting God take care of your worries, right? And then you have financial concerns. What are your financial worries? And then like you pray your intention that God helps you to find the right person for my will, Dad, for example. Or for wisdom on what to do with your properties, Dad. So these are your intentions. So you got to go through and spend some time figuring it out. And you got to really pay attention to this rosary. So instead of taking 20 minutes, it takes a little bit longer, but it's a much more powerful experience, I think. John, so that's why I'm so excited about your idea. So like the 4th decade would be world peace. So you've top 10 poorest countries in the world, and literally list those, John. So if we could give this to somebody, we could have the top 10 poorest countries, and we could always have somebody that's going through this rosary exercise be praying for the top 10 poorest countries. And then Our Father close to your heart. Decade 5 would be specific members of your family. So like Dad would be Anne Marie, and then Dad, you should really be praying for yourself, for your heart. And then John, I thought this would be a good idea if you add like a special intention bead for like those people that, oh yeah, I'll pray for you, and then you like always forget about. So like right here, you could really remember those. Maybe say Hail Mary or just, I don't know. And then we come back around and we do 3 Hail Marys for purity of mind, heart, and body, and then we can use that and say, have like a reflection of where is your life in impure thoughts directed at anybody? Is there a grudge you're holding in your body? Have you been impure yourself, or do you need to lose weight? Period. And for the attention of the Holy Father. So you figure what you want to reflect on what that is, that the Holy Father is the closest person to Christ on earth. So if you pray that he can discern the will of God, and his ego, because he is the Pope, that he remains humble, because if he doesn't, that's bad. That is really, really bad. Okay, so let's not even go there. Alright, and that he has the courage to carry it out. And then I think, John, it'd be good, like, if you just think about put a reflection of the Hail Holy Queen, like the Blessed Mother's direct link to the heart of Jesus, right? Which is the whole thing. You're trying to open your heart to Jesus. She's a direct link to the heart. So if we can have a streamlining, ultimately, which is like all I think about these days is streamlining, then you have eternal happiness. That's how you get there. Blessed Mother, Rosary, boom. It all wraps it together. All right, so that's all I got. Let me know what you guys think, okay?